Impression of Tbilisi, Georgia, Europe's most underrated city. The capital of Georgia is home to a variety of attractions, including historic structures, natural wine, and a club culture that is on the cutting edge of innovation. Georgia is a small country that straddles the borders of both Europe and Asia. Tbilisi, the capital of Georgia, is a fascinating mishmash of cultures that sits right at the center of the historic Silk Road trading route. Ancient history and slick new developments coexist in this location, sometimes even on the same street. It is a site where history and modernity coexist. Blocky industrial buildings from the Soviet era, which have a rigorous utilitarian architecture, are being reused all over the place, while ultra-modern glass-covered high-rises are located in close proximity to ancient cathedrals that are almost as old as the city itself. A factory has been transformed into chic cafes and stores. A print house has been transformed into a contemporary hotel and restaurant, and a swimming pool that was abandoned beneath a stadium has been transformed into a nightclub that usually attracts more than 1,200 people. It is up to you whether you want to indulge in history, architecture, nightlife, food, wine, or all of these things at the same time in Tbilisi. Tbilisi is a destination from which you can choose. Besides the wine, of course. That is an absolute requirement. Describe the city of Tbilisi. The most important thoroughfare in Tbilisi is called Rustaveli Avenue, and it is characterized by a combination of trees, beautiful structures that date back to the middle of the 19th century, and a few churches and monuments. Due to the fact that the sidewalks are spacious and packed with people, we had the impression that we were strolling through any of the charming European cities. Unlike the rest of Tbilisi, Old Tbilisi is a chaotic collection of narrow alleyways, crumbling pavements, and dilapidated buildings. In addition to that, it includes a few streets that are very popular and are packed with restaurants and sellers selling artwork and souvenirs. Additionally, this region is home to a few of the oldest churches in all of Tbilisi. We did not have a strong preference for the location because we found it to be far too crowded and commercial for our liking. There is some contemporary architecture on the other side of the river, which may be traversed by means of the contemporary Bridge of Peace, which is reserved exclusively for pedestrians. Additionally, there is a cable car that will transport you back across the river and up to the Narikala stronghold. The views from that vantage point are breathtaking. In general, Tbilisi is a city that combines a variety of architectural styles and factors. It is a city that is appealing in general, despite the fact that it does not always mix very well. The mother of Georgia can be reached by taking a cable car. From Wright Park, you may ride a cable car to Tbilisi Hill, which offers a view of Tbilisi, and take in the cityscape as you go to the top of the hill. The enormous Mother of Georgia, Cartless Data, a sculpture made of aluminum that stands 20 meters tall and depicts a woman dressed in Georgia national garb, can be found here. One hand is holding a sword, which she uses to fight off attackers, while the other hand is holding a cup of wine, which she uses to greet guests. Generally speaking, it is regarded as the city's emblem. There is also Narikala, a large castle that dates back to the 4th century and was constructed by Vakhtang I Gorgasali, the Iberian king who was responsible for the establishment of Tbilisi. Take the cable car back down to the bottom of the mountain, or if you are feeling particularly active, you can take a small trekking trail that leads down past the Ledtakhevi waterfall. Did you experience that before? Don't be so sure, my good friend. By foot, you can explore the Old Town of Tbilisi. Old Town in Tbilisi is a fascinating neighborhood that can be explored on foot with relative ease. Beginning with a visit to Tbilisi, which was named one of Time Out's coolest neighborhoods in 2021, you should begin by taking in the stunning architecture that can be found there. Once you have traversed the recently rebuilt Rustaveli Square, proceed to Shavteli Street in order to visit the Gabriel's Theatre, which is renowned for its crooked clock tower, as well as the Enchiskati Basilica, which is the oldest church in Tbilisi and was constructed in the 6th century AD. Take a stroll along the bank of the Narikala River in the direction of Meteki Cathedral and Queen Darajan's Palace. While you are there, be sure to check out the undulating Bridge of Peace. Additionally, head down to the river. If you are looking for a local firm that organizes walking tours, you should look for one that is well organized and informative. It is important to bear in mind that even if a tour is listed as being free, it likely requires a tip, so you should have some cash with you. You should go to the National Museum of Georgia. There are some of the most significant historical artifacts in the country that can be found at the Georgia National Museum, which is a must-see for first-time visitors as well as returning visitors who decided to skip it. An exhibition that takes a deep dive into the Soviet rule of Georgia is one of the places where one may gain an awareness of Georgia's long history. This venue features a display of prehistoric skulls, including the Tbilisi hominids, which is the most complete hominid skull that has ever been discovered. Take a more in-depth look at the paintings that Nico Pirosmani has created at the National Gallery. It is arguable that Nico Pirosmani is the most well-known painter in Georgia. His exhibition, which is located on the second level of the National Gallery, is imperative that you should see even if you are not interested in art. In Purist Mani's primitivist work, the primary protagonists are people from everyday life, and his paintings have the potential to provide a more meaningful glimpse into the past than any history book could. Additionally, the works of other significant artists such as Lado Gudashvili, David Kekabads, and Aykub Mikaladze are displayed in the vicinity of the permanent exhibition space. In addition, make sure to keep an eye on the program at the National Gallery to see the other intriguing temporary exhibitions that they have planned. Tbilisi Art Academy can be reached by taking the steps that are tiled. You'll find a set of stairs that are decorated with 2,000 painted tiles tucked away in a secluded area next to the Zara store on Rustaveli Avenue. They lead up to the stunning Tbilisi Art Academy, which is a building that was constructed in the 1850s and combines features of European neo-Baroque design with traditional Persian architecture. Tbilisi's mirror halls, which have carved walls and ceilings adorned with glinting mirror shards and paintings by Qajar masters, are commonly considered to be one of the city's most underappreciated treasures. One word of caution: the building that houses the academy is closed to guests during the exam and holiday seasons, therefore it is important to ensure that it is open before going there. The Georgian wine should be consumed in a glass or 5. Because Georgia is considered to be the birthplace of wine and has a history of winemaking that dates back 8,000 years, you should be sure to visit this winery even if you are only in Tbilisi for a single day. It is important to pay attention to the small wine-focused restaurants and pubs in Georgia that provide selections of natural wines, even if the majority of Georgian restaurants will offer wine as an option on their menus. The city center is fortunate in that it contains a large number of them. You might try Flag's Wine Bar on Aflidiani, which is a place that does not have any frills but has a reasonable selection of wines from relatively modest independent vineyards. If you are searching for some food to soak up the wine, Hivaniz Kurgebi, which is located in the historic wine factory, offers traditional Georgian cuisine that can be matched with wonderful wines from the region. Visit the Holy Trinity Cathedral in Tbilisi and take a look around. One of the largest Eastern Orthodox churches in the world is the Holy Trinity Cathedral of Tbilisi, which the Georgians refer to as simply Sema, Trinity. This cathedral serves as the primary spiritual center of the Georgian Orthodox Church. Archil Mindiashvili, an architect, created a design that combines traditional Georgian and more luxurious Byzantine styles, which results in a structure that is significantly more extravagant than normal Georgian churches. This enormous edifice, which was constructed between the years 1995 and 2004, is positioned on top of Elia Hill, which further adds to the magnificence of the location. It is equally stunning on the inside, where frescoes and mosaics are used to embellish the walls. So are you going to visit this hidden gem? Let us know in the comment below and subscribe for more details. Thanks for watching.